Time now for our moment of faith, brought to us by the great folks at Lee Greenwood and the God Bless the USA Bible. In focus today, the second annual Catholic Prayer for America Gala. This is happening at the home of President Donald Trump, right over here at Mar-a-Lago. It is set for March 19th, the feast day of St. Joseph. Power prayer is real, and this big event will showcase how prayer is at the heart of what makes America great. Let's welcome in John Yep. He is the CEO of Catholics for Catholics. Welcome. I want to talk about this gala, but before we do, I am just dying to ask you about the situation of the Pope, with the Pope. I know that you have spent a lot of time there in Rome at the Vatican. Give us insight.
Spent 5 years there in Rome. Was there actually when the Holy Father Pope Francis was actually named. So stood right there when the smoke came out, and got to see it firsthand. So we have followed this pontificate very closely, and it's all eyes should be right now on Rome, even if you're not Catholic, because the significance of the Pope on just a geopolitical scale is really enormous. So we need to just keep praying for the Pope, especially for the repose of his soul, ultimately, if God is going to call him home now during this time. So yes, thank you for asking about that. And it's an important time for Catholics and also non-Catholics alike.
I love how you will have more priests and nuns at this event than I believe have ever gathered at Mar-a-Lago, certainly, perhaps at any major political event. What does this tell us about the direction our culture is headed from a faith perspective?
Look, the hardest workers, the hardest patriots are usually those who have a strong prayer life and love their God and their country. And we saw that in the last election. Catholics for Catholics, our group that's putting this on for the second year in a row. We're not just sitting in churches praying all day. We worked so hard to get President Trump elected. We gave him the largest Catholic landslide in U.S. history, 58 to 40%. So we're coming back to his house, first and foremost, to thank, our God and him for the tremendous work that he's doing for America.
Catholics for Catholics is excited to announce our second annual Catholic Prayer for America Gala to be held at Mar-a-Lago, home of President Donald Trump, on March 19th, Feast of St. Joseph. This moment of prayer, where hundreds will gather from around the country to be at the President's house, culminating in the moment that Bishop Strickland consecrates this nation to the Immaculate Conception and St. Joseph. Why are we doing this? Because at the end of the day, it's all about prayer. Joining us in person to share their testimony.
A religion of externals is attractive to the unrenewed heart. The pomp and ceremony of the Catholic worship has a seductive, bewitching power by which many are deceived, and they come to look upon the Roman Church as the very gate of heaven. None but those who have planted their feet firmly upon the foundation of truth and whose hearts are renewed by the Spirit of God are proof against her influence. Thousands who have not an experimental knowledge of Christ will be led to accept the forms of godliness without the power. Such a religion is just what the multitudes desire.